Good afternoon and welcome to the Press Box. I haven't been on here in such a long time. I just want to say hello to all of you out there in social media land on Channel 27, wherever you're working or looking, viewing, listening to this. Welcome to the Press Box. You know the deal. This is the place where we don't talk at you, we talk to you. So if you got comments, questions for the governor, just put them on up on the screen and I'll be shouting you out, answering them for you. Please. You know, there's a lot of people who want to have questions answered today, so let's, as usual, be respectful of other people, their opinions, and mostly yours truly, Gubby. You want to be able to be respectful of me. Want to fill you in a little bit about what I've been up to. It's been a very, very busy year, and the last couple of weeks have not been the same. I was actually up in Louisiana, in New Orleans. We took an opportunity. I don't know if you know, but I actually serve on the National Jobs for America's Graduates Board. Jobs for America's Graduates is over 169 different one of these in almost every state in the nation. Right now, I'm working as a board member to get Puerto Rico on board as well as Guam on board. So those governors, I've been talking and discussing with them to get them on board. What does it do? So what we do is we go into high schools and we form these specialists. We get these specialists and they teach a class, and this class teaches you how to get a job, how to write a resume. The specialist helps you and coaches you in school, what to take like a counselor. They check up on your other classes and how you're doing. And most importantly, they help you to graduate and get work. So when I was a commissioner back in 2009 or so, 8, 9, under the DeYoung administration, Governor DeYoung charged me with starting this in the Virgin Islands, and I actually started the first one. And we had 4 programs, one in each high school, and we've been so successful since then. And of course, since I've become governor, they've asked me to join the board. So I am the only board member that is actually working with JAG on a state level and rose to the point of governor, and now is on the JAG board. So we were in Louisiana doing that. Virgin Islands is doing awesome. We just won the highest award for JAG out of all the states. So we're doing good there. I want to say a big up to our specialists, especially our specialists over there in the high schools. And we're expanding JAG. We're looking to go out of school and whatever we can to do to get young people engaged and get them going. The other thing we were there in New Orleans. We thought it was a good idea to stop in and see what they're doing about their recovery. You know, Katrina was over 15 years ago, and believe it or not, they're still working on recovery projects from Katrina. So we got some tips on some do's and some don'ts, some new things that they got in, and as you know, it was such a amazing thing for me flying into New Orleans, seeing all of those blue roofs. Yes, believe it or not, when I flew in, it took me by surprise. There were so many homes with blue roofs on them, and the tarps from all the different storms that they've been having, and they have to deal with this every year. Actually, New Orleans is underwater. I didn't even know that. It's below sea level, and they have pumps that pump the water out on a daily basis to keep the city from flooding. So when they have a major rain or anything, a hurricane coming, they turn on more pumps. We actually went and visited this place. So it's called SWEMNA. It's the Sewage and Water of New Orleans. They have their own power plant there. They have pumps. We visited their power plant and saw their upgrades. They're actually using some of the same gas turbines we use in WAPA. We also were there. We were spoken to Miss Honore, who works there in Louisiana with their recovery project, building new homes and doing things. You know, we talked about the Envision program. They were amazed at what we were doing here and shared with us that what they actually did for some of their people, they just paid them out of their house. They just gave them the money instead of building the houses. But we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to put people back in homes because we need as much homes as possible. So me and Adrian Octalin Williams were there in New Orleans. It was a great time. Learned a lot, visited a lot while we were there in Louisiana. And she's actually taking back some more people back to Louisiana, to New Orleans to look at some more projects and things that they're doing, what works, what doesn't work. Amazing. They were telling us about HUD, the problems they had with HUD and spending HUD money, same problems. It's amazing, there's similarities there. We're both dominated by African Americans. We're both kind of have that Southern European French kind of culture, warm, loving, great food, both tourism destinations. So we're open to farm some really good bonds while we're in New Orleans. The mayor wasn't there, but she had representatives there from her office as well. They're dedicated to building new homes in New Orleans, and their city's on the rise. Also today, we Gordon Finch Molasses Fair. Mr. Finch was there today. It was a beautiful thing to see the projects that are coming on. This one is finishing. We're finally moving the pier from Gallows Bay all the way now to the south shore of St. Croix. And it's significant because it is another step in really revolutionizing St. Croix and Christiansted. And I shared with them today that one of the visions is to finally move WAPA to the South Shore so that we get back all the communities that are now defunct. You know, we can't build back Kennedy, most of Kennedy anyway, because of the blast area with the propane tank. We had to take down the Chabert project and all those houses around there, the school, everything is in jeopardy. So that's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen a year after. But we're on a road, a track, a vision, a site to move WAPA to the other side of the island, and then we can develop all the way from Club St. Croix all the way to Gallows Bay. Gallows Bay now will have no more cargo. So when people come in now for the cruise ships, we're going out hard to get them. They can actually come off and they don't have to be run down by a truck. You're fixing that road, expanding that whole corridor that comes from Christiansted. We're going to extend the boardwalk. We're fixing the pier by Panchi. It's going to be bigger so it can accommodate more boats. Lots of great things going on here in downtown Christiansted, downtown Charlotte Amalia, Cruise Bay, and Frederiksted. So today was a very good day, and I really enjoyed going down. Let's see who's on here. We don't have, I guess things are going good thing here on the I see Josette is watching me. Josette, congratulations. She's our specialist for JAG over there in St. Thomas. Ivana Idorican. Good evening to Dwayne Foy. How you doing out there? Sarah Burke. She was also involved and instrumental in getting up JAG when we first put it up there. So we had a lot of things that we were into doing. I see WAPA still announced that it has nearly 400 million in liabilities as a concern from your administration. Blaine Carter, WAPA bin had $400 million in liabilities. That's not new news. They were there before I came in office, and we're certainly looking to take care of some of this. What did she say? The largest liability is the VTOL LPG project. How does WAPA plan on repaying VTOL? Blaine, VTOL is not the largest liability. Actually, our loan is to VTOL. We paid a considerable amount of VTOL money to VTOL over the years. As most of you know, that's a project that started out as an $80 million project and ended up a $160 million project. There's a audit that went on there and a lot of it looking into how the money was spent. We're still not pretty sure that we owe VTOL all that money. All of that is under disbursement now. It's amazing. I always love when people ask me questions about the semi-autonomous organizations. They're run by boards, not by the governor, even though we have representation on those boards. I try to keep what's going on. Hey, Carol, you're looking good too. New Orleans is one of your favorites. It's certainly one of mine. Who else we got on there? Tell them about the refinery, Nellister Thomas. So in the recent couple days, we had a lot of talk about the refinery. I think there was a news broke yesterday by the consortium that there was a press release saying that West Indies Petroleum is not a part of Port Hamilton. All this is, ladies and gentlemen, is a clarification of fact. I think we issued a press release already. If we haven't done it already, we sent out a press release explaining West Indian Petroleum is a separate entity than Port Hamilton. West Indian Petroleum investors were involved in the original purchase of the refinery. The investors, not West Indian Petroleum. They have some common investors, but they're two distinct entities. Port Hamilton is the owner of the refinery. I met with one of their principals yesterday, Mr. Charles Chambers. We had a good conversation. They feel they're on track to get the refinery running back open and get the permits underway, so that's a good thing. So lots of confusion there, but everything else is good to do. Here's somebody with a good idea. Sierra again, can we establish a JAG program for English language learners to develop bilingual workforce? Absolutely, we could do that. We could develop that's a good thing to do. While I was in New Orleans, we were visited by an actual out-of-school JAG participant. So what they do is they have JAG classes for students, for young adults who have dropped out of school or who have just recently graduated and are having difficulty getting to the workforce. We can do that as well. The problem with all of these JAG things and with anything we do is getting teachers. That's always a problem. You know, as much as these projects we have, I mean, we have so many things going on right now. We actually sending out bids for work and no one is bidding on them. That's an opportunity. A huge problem for us, but an opportunity for you to open a construction business, for you to get a skill, a trade. You know that we have $10 million at labor and we're actually teaching people to do all kinds of trades and we're paying you while you learn. So that's something you should be thinking about because we don't have enough of anything right now in the Virgin Islands except problems. Good news, Vitima is updating their tsunami sirens. We are almost complete on that. 27 of 44 are ready, established, 7 in St. John, 19 in St. Thomas, and 1 on Water Island. We also received 7 new ambulances, 3 in St. Thomas, 3 in St. Croix, and 1 in St. John. Remember when ambulances were a problem? Lots of stuff going on. So I'm going to take a short break. We're going to come back. I'm going to talk more about WAPA, more about water and infrastructure going on in St. Thomas, St. Croix, and in St. John. Stay with us. The one thing y'all forget, it's hot as hell here.
At VIHFA's Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery, or CDBG-DR, the word community is what we take to heart. When we have skills that fit the local job market, we are resurgent. When we rebuild critical infrastructure using modern technology and engineering, we are resilient. When community organizations receive the support they need to help our neighbors, we are revitalized. And when we live in houses that are safe and secure, we are restored. With over $1.9 billion earmarked for the USVI, this federally funded program is putting our community first while keeping its eyes on our future. Why? Because at VIHFA, disaster recovery means resurgence, resilience, revitalization, and restoration. Visit cdbgdr.vihfa.gov to see how we are funding our future.
Folks, we're back. You're on the Press Box with the Governor, Albert Bryan Jr. Here, we talk to you, not at you. So line up your questions, keep them coming as we move forward. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on in the territory. And I just want to share a lot of what's going on. I talked about new ambulances coming to the territory. We landed a new fire truck or two the other day as well. One of the big news stories is water. So we're doing a lot of stuff around potable water and the supply of water. FEMA recently announced an award to St. Thomas for the entire potable water system to be replaced. I think that award is somewhere around $800 million. As you know, the St. Croix sewer was also awarded. That's about 1.5 to 2 billion. And the St. Croix clean water, I think, was awarded too. But we want to expand water and what people can get water in all of the territory, because getting water to your house now eliminates the need for building a cistern, which lowers the cost of putting in a house. So we have water expansion projects, small ones like into Smith Bay. That one is not too big. It's going to be happening soon. And large ones like our expansion into Bordeaux. So we got a $20 million plan. We're taking water all the way down to Bordeaux because we want to start giving those farmers water down there, and also the residents. So that's going to take us a minute to get everything stocked up and going, but these are projects you can definitely look forward to. And speaking about farming, we're doing so much things around increasing funds to farmers and looking for programs. We were expanding the farmers and fishermen funds at the EDA, where you can go and borrow up to $100,000 to get farming done or to buy a new fishing boat or get into the fishing business. Our infrastructure is coming along well. I'm really proud of the Department of Public Works and Commissioner Gabriel and the excellent work they're doing in terms of the paving of the roads and getting the projects done. We've seen road paving. This is the most road paving we've seen in administration in about 40 years. And it just keeps going. I drive around from time to time and just look at different projects we're doing in St. Thomas. We recently finished Monster Hill, Ala Tutu. There's a phase 2 coming on with that project. We also finished Estate Lorraine, Pueblo to Five Corners. The whole in-paving coming into Christiansted looks beautiful now. All Miracle Mile, all of that stuff is done. It's just a beautiful, the Weymouth-Rama Highway in St. Thomas and the box culvert. And of course, all the work we're doing over in St. John and those 8 tough miles on Centerline and in Cruz Bay. What you're gonna see this summer, you're gonna see the beginning of the completion of the highway in St. Croix, where we're expanding the lanes right there by the turnoff to go down to the container port. There'll finally be a 3rd lane there. The road from the highway all the way to Lorraine, that's going to get paved. Then from Home Depot all the way to Prophet, the last of that road that wasn't completed, that's going to be completed. And then Williams Delight project will start all the way down, going down towards Wim. That's going to be completed as well. And then all the highway lights are going to be coming on. So we're really excited about that. St. Thomas, we just finished Contant. Contant looked good. I was up there driving around. All kind of roads that I thought never would be paved before. I know those residents are grateful there. The Judy Gomez Highway that run from Olamulla all the way up. We have paved that all the way to the Adelita Cancrine intersection. That looks fantastic as well too. First Avenue, we're coming. We haven't forgotten you. That's a huge project. That's going to go from all the way up in Sugar Estate, come down. That money is allotted. Is sitting there, and of course, the Nado Drive out there. That one is on the books too, coming. North Star Village, we ain't forgot you. That's in design. We're gonna be starting that work this summer as well too. So I know people all over are saying, "Oh, Governor," when they see me now, they're like, "When are you gonna pave my road?" And I know people are excited, and you could tell when they're asking me, they feel confident that we're gonna get to them. So there's some couple of places that I still owe. I haven't figured out Peter's Rest yet. My good friend Paul there in Wapa tell me, "Son, Gov, I need my road paved." I said, "Look, we gonna work on it. Do me a favor. I got a favor for you, Paul. We're gonna get your road paved." And then, of course, my good people in Wim. I met some people from Wim the other day. They said, "Governor, you forget us. You pave Campo Rico. You ain't pave us." I said, "Look, I'm coming. I'm gonna get it done. Relax." Because people think that we started this paving because of the election. We didn't. Year one, we paved miles and miles in year one. But it's just coming on now. We have different types of fund because of how we've been able to maneuver our funds. We have more money for road paving now. So we're getting neighborhood roads paved. They haven't been paved, like I said, in 40 years. These roads haven't been paved. Our administration is bringing it to. So Wim, Miss B down there, I promise you. I used to live in Wim right there by Rookie them. I got you. We're going to get you paved up. Let me see what y'all got here on the questions on the press box. See what's going on. All the people that are calling in. See somebody talking about healthcare. Healthcare is important. And I listen to people talk about healthcare and our healthcare infrastructure. But when we came into office, we recognized that it would be a while before we could get healthcare. That's why we approved the certificate of need to open new urgent care places in St. Thomas and in St. Croix so that people can have access to care. Now, I hear people say, oh, my mother had to fly out, or this person had to fly out. People have been flying out for years. Ladies and gentlemen, the building of the hospital will not stop us from flying people out. We'll probably never had a cardiothoracic surgeon, neurologist. There are a lot of specialties that, because of our size, the doctors won't come. They're going to see two, maybe three patients a month. So what are we doing? The telehealth bill. What is that? That is now how we're going to be able to get people to see specialists all over the world without leaving their homes. This bill is in the legislature now. It's going to be coming up and on the guidance around it. I'm sure some of you have already tried. You may be using these services for mental health. That's a huge problem for us. We don't have psychiatrists and psychologists in the territory, counselors. You can do it remotely now. So there's a lot of legislation that we have coming up around mental health, around physical health, and doing things to make healthcare accessible to you. So hang with us. Life is good, Francis. We need a water park. I agree with you, Bill 1. People always look at the government and say they need something. St. Croix is going to triple the amount of cruise ship passengers coming next year. They need something to do. So let's get at it. Let's figure out how we could create some new tours, a water park, something, and get it going. Not for the government, for the people to start making some money and take care of them. LaGrange Road, Dorothy McIntosh. Yes, ma'am. I went up there the other day. I did see the road. I drove through it. It's bad, but there's some places that are worse than there. Have you been up Coble? Everybody know Coble and St. Croix Road is bad. Up there in Smithby behind, going towards Tutu. Them roads are behind it. There's some private roads back there are really terrible as well. Content. We're going to get to you. We're going to take care of you, but LaGrange is something we have. The gut is a priority. We close it out. Now, Mr. Thomas, you want more sidewalks? I am all for sidewalks in our towns, in places where we walk. But sidewalk all over the place, then you're going to be calling me 3 years from now saying, Governor, why you ain't cleaning the sidewalks them out in LaGrange, and why you ain't cleaning the sidewalks down in Bodo? If more sidewalks is more stuff for us to maintain. We don't have the maintenance force or the money to maintain the stuff we have now. So we're building sidewalks where people walk because we want to keep people healthy. We have an arrangement with the AARP for walkabilities in our towns and our centers. That beautiful boardwalk, promenade on the waterfront is fantastic over there in St. Thomas. We're doing some stuff in Frederickstead to make ones that match. And then St. John, I need to figure out there. When I come there, I find it hard to exercise. I drive all the way out to Cinnamon Bay and take a walk out there, but we need to figure out a way to make some more exercising applicable to the people in St. John. When will the 8% retro be sent out to the survivors of employees from the government of the Virgin Islands? I didn't realize there was a holdup on that. If you have a survivor that passed away, I could look into that, but if you have the right of attorney over their estate, then you would be able to get that, and that's Donna Jones. What are some of the things that we can do with Main Street, elevate the nightlife experience? We see what they did in Old San Juan, food trucks at night vendors. I see just Nellie Bones, Main Street. So you want to hear what my idea is. I think it's a great idea for our downtowns. So what I'm thinking about is two things, especially for downtown Main Street, St. Thomas, and downtown Frederiksted. I'm thinking about creating an EDC program for artists and galleries. So if you do art, create art, sell art, trade art, you would be able to do so tax-free as long as you locate on Main Street or in Frederiksted or in Christiansted. It's a program that I'm starting to work up. It's going to take some legislation in order to do it. So you'd have all these artists, you'd have Sotheby's, you'd have these trading houses and galleries and auction houses moving in now to sell art worldwide, but you also have local artists taking up those spaces. How do they afford it, you say? Urban revitalization. With this CDBG money now, we were trying to work out agreements with people in downtown to buy buildings and spaces and to buy down rent so that local artisans could take part in our downtown areas. Hard to do, but something that we're working on. So that's a good one for David Silverman. You're always trolling me. How you doing? I hope you're fine over there in Coral Bay. Why am I supporting Summers End? I'll tell you why. Coral Bay needs development. We have a lot of people living out in Coral Bay, and we need development. I'm willing to sit down and speak to the residents of Coral Bay on any day about the size and the scope and what it should be and how do we control. Because I love the Virgin Islands, I love St. John, but simply just not doing anything at all is not the way. Because people in St. John need jobs. Right now, I'm really working hard to buy parcels of land so I can make affordable housing so St. Johnians can live in St. John. But even if they live in St. John, they need places to work. So that's why I support economic development. 75% of St. John will never, ever be used for anything else except National Park. The rest, 25%, us Virgin Islanders who have lived here for generations and those Virgin Islanders who just come, they need to find a place to live and work. So that's how that goes. Is there anyone online from personnel who can answer the question, when will the 8% retro? I don't see if somebody else. Let's see who's out there. I don't see any good questions. If you ask the question, Nellie Bones Knight, Tian Latham Miller, some got tax return and others didn't from 2018. So there's a law that says that we have to pay the tax returns in the order that they come. So even if you have a 2018 tax return, if you filed it in 2020, you're going to get paid with the 2020. If you have an audit situation, when you refile is when you're going to get paid. A lot of people have audit situation. The other thing that we're doing is I told IRB and finance to go back and look at all the return checks that we have and publicize them in the paper, your name, so you can go down there and pick up your check. Because some of y'all got checks down there and you ain't picking up the money. Probably you moved or you had a wrong address, it's not getting to you, because I ran into that with a couple of people. So let me continue. I'm looking at your questions as they're coming in slowly. So I want to talk about the budget a little bit, and I want to clue you into something. Yes, it's an election year, and I always believed when I ran, I said, I want to run on my record, and we've printed now, I think we've printed 50 of our top 100 accomplishments in the paper. We've been putting them on Facebook. If you go on my page, you can see them. If you go on the campaign page, you can see them. They've been in the Avis, the Daily News. I think we even have them up in the consortium as well. If you see those, we want people to challenge on this, that we're stronger than ever. When we do our economic revitalization, when we look at our tourism product, what we've been able to accomplish in terms of expanding our marine sector, the stability of the government, the fixing of the GRS, it's a lot of work. So I can tell you, you don't need to guess about what you're going to get or who you're getting now. The accomplishments are there. There's 50. We don't really laid the bottom 50 out of 100. We got another 50 coming up for you too. Challenge your candidates, whoever they are, or people who have anything to say about the administration. Produce a list of 25 of your real accomplishments, and we'll be impressed. We got 100. Anyway, I'll be back. I take a break. But stay with us, and yes, it's getting a little hot in here. So we'll take this break and be right back.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins on June 1st and lasts through November 30th. Please take necessary steps to protect you, your family, and the community.
Begin collecting supplies such as bottled waters and non-perishable food, batteries, radios, games for children.
Don't forget about your pets and especially your elderly family. Take time now to trim trees, install or check shutters, talk to children about hurricanes and allow them to pack their own go bags.
These activities can help reduce anxiety in the event of a storm. We're a small community.
Together we can ensure our islands, homes and families remain prepared for hurricanes.
Register for Alert VI emergency notification by visiting vitema.vi.gov. Make a plan.
Be prepared.
Stay informed.
Are you ready to develop valuable skills you can put to work? Join the Virgin Islands Department of Labor's Work, Learn and Earn program. It is a 12 weeks paid work experience for out-of-school youth ages 17 to 24 with little to no work experience. This program provides you with the opportunity to develop your professional skills in a professional work environment in your area of interest, with the goal of connecting you to full-time employment. For more information, call us at 340-773-1994 on St. Croix or 340-776-3700 on St. Thomas, or email kevin.dixon@dol.vi.gov. The Youth and Apprenticeship Division is committed to building skills and making opportunities.
Good evening and welcome back. You're on the Press Box with your Governor, Albert Bryan Jr. I'm here talking to you on Facebook, social media, putting up your questions, on trying to answer them the best I can, and telling you about all the wonderful things that we're doing here to make you and your family quality of life a little bit better. I want to talk about the budget that we submitted. You know, every year since I've been in office, we've gotten more and more revenue. And not only have we gotten that revenue, but every single year we've been able to finish the year with a little surplus. That means we earned more than we spent. Not only have we did that, but we've actually been sticking money away for that rainy day, just like you do at home. So when things happen, we have money to respond and respond quickly. Lately, we've been doing some things of catching up on years and years of not being able to, and I look back at all the governors, and I'm a fan of this sport. I love politics and I love policy. So I could take you all the way back to Louis and talk about all the things that have happened. And in the last, we've been so broke for so long. And people say, why is this done? Or why isn't that done? Or, we could only fix what we have money to fix. The way we get money is through taxpayers like you. And what has happened in the past is instead of paying you back your tax returns, the government held those tax returns like loans and actually spent them doing things like making payroll, trying to fix and repair schools, trying to be able to keep the lights on at WAPA, or all kinds of little things that had to be done because times were hard. But now, times ain't so hard anymore. I think the COVID and through this administration, we made the right decisions and capitalized on our opportunities, work with the legislature as well as Congress, Delegate Plaskett, to make things happen. And you know what happened? We almost caught up on our income tax. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I met a lady today in the bank. She says, Governor, you're doing a good job. I said, yeah. She said, yeah, man, you're doing a good job. She said, I get all of my taxes back. I get 18, 19, and I just get 20. She said, thank you. I said, you're welcome. I appreciate you. I said, I can get you 21 this year too. She said, I ain't resting my hat on that. But she's going to get 21 this year. We're going to get caught up, and we're going to stay caught up because we have a special piece of legislation now where we get reimbursed for almost half of the taxes that we pay out to you for the earned income tax credit. Thank you, Delegate Plaskett, for making that happen in Congress. But you got to keep a watch on this economy because this economy is on fire. I had to remind somebody the other day that even St. Croix is doing well with the refinery closed. And every day you go out, what time of day? Traffic, people moving things back and forth, trucks going with cement and concrete and blocks. Things are happening on every single island. It's just burning hot. And it's because we're managing the money right and making sure we keep our fire to the flame. I know there's a lot of talk about a recession in the United States, but I talked to you about this before. It's inevitable that we're going to hit slow stages in the States. And when that happens is we get less tourists down here. That's why we're working on other things like the cargo that you saw today, the expansion and transshipment of products here in the cargo hub, the expansion of Adelita Cancrane section now so we could store more trailers and send more stuff down island. That's what you got to do. We've got incredible things going on that is helping us to become resilient against fluctuations in the tourists. But construction is where it's at. And we're hoping to see at the end of this year, the Marriott, which is now a Westin in Frenchman's Reef, open up again. The Hotel Sugar Bay, that was recently sold. They're starting to do the work there. So we're gonna get that one open up too. Still ain't know what we're doing with Carneal Bay. I gotta scratch my head on that one. But Mahogany Run coming along. Downtown Christian said Hotel on the Key, that's coming along. Hibiscus, the hotel we have over in Christian said that's coming up as well. There's plans for Clover Crest down in Frederickstead, and there are plans for a new hotel there at the airport. So lots of things to get excited about as we go through here. And I see Carmen Matthew on there. We need a lot of help in Estate Thomas with paving of the roads, and all the old cars need to be removed. Carmen, becoming Estate Thomas. That project I just talked about for First Avenue is in design. Listen, I didn't realize how bad that abandoned car problem is in St. Thomas. It is really ridiculous. People leaving their cars all over the place, all in the road. People, you live next door to people, you got 800 cars in your yard dragging down the property values. It really has to stop. The other night I was going home out north side in St. Thomas, and somebody had a big truck just parked at the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. These things are unacceptable. We gotta get these things cleaned up. And you know, we spend thousands of dollars every year pulling trucks, cars, boats, all kind of stuff off the side of the road, and people just put them back. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to start to work in our communities and make sure that we clean all of these things up. It is definitely something that we have to do to make us resilient. But speaking about resilient, Carmen, we got some other things that we're doing, and one of the things I like the most is what we're doing with our young people. So education is like, to me, the thing that's most responsible for my success. And I want to pass it on to every single young person in the Virgin Islands. So that's why we expanded pre-K. We got 8 new granny pre-K in our elementary school. So now, they had kindergarten before, but this is pre-kindergarten. They're going to school earlier. They're learning to read faster. We're doing stuff in the high schools, I told you, with the expansion of the JAG. We're about to go and be able to offer new programs to our students. They're learning to fly and do stuff. We're also changing the scope now. So we notice that kids have such a hard time when they transition from 6th to 7th grade. We're building our new schools K through 8. So they're seeing the same teachers, the same kids for 8 years, then they go to high school. When they're in high school, they have options because we're building a whole new Wheatley Skills Center down there in Kerwin Terrace. Is coming along fine. And of course, we have excellent opportunities here in St. Croix at the vocational complex, educational complex. St. John, the new school on the way. We're almost through with the land swap with the federal government, and we're going to be able to start building that school over there. Once you graduate, you're going to college for free if you want to. And if you need to go to trade school, we provided $1 million for every student who is going away, whether college or trade school. You got $1,000 to go. Once you've been affected by COVID, everyone qualifies for these opportunities. So you have no excuse. If you don't want to go to college, you get $10 million at labor. Earn and learn. You can get trained, you can learn how to do a trade and stay and work here in the Virgin Islands. We got you covered. When you finish, we got what we call the fellowship program. We're taking students at $55,000 a year to start and putting them to work inside of the financial, accounting, and construction fields. And we're looking for applications for that right now. So if you're out of school less than 3 years or you just graduated from college, you can apply for that program. Look for it on omb.gov, Office of Management and Budget, Virgin Islands. Just Google it, it'll come up. You could qualify $55,000 a year to start. We're not stopping there. We're making sure that everybody has access to internet. The Virgin Islands will be the only state in the territory with everyone having internet free on all the beaches, in the parks, in the schools, in the libraries, every housing community. Up to 5 megabit free, courtesy of the government, the Brian Roach administration coming to you. So we want to make sure that everyone has access to the internet, because if you have access to the internet, you have access to email, you can have a meeting, you can set up a shop on eBay, you can buy stuff on Amazon, or you can do whatever you want. It's on there, and it'll be free to you to use if you're visiting or if you're a resident of the Virgin Islands. Right now, we're improving our applicability in terms of being able to be open 24 hours. How are you doing that, Gov? Well, now we have online access to our business license 24/7. You can register to get a business license online. We have online access to get your registration renewed. You could do that 24/7, send in your stuff, get your licenses renewed. We have online access for boating registration. We have online access for jobs and being able to, whether it's a government or labor, any hour of the day and night, you can now apply. So take advantage of all these things that are going on in the Virgin Islands, because they're definitely for you, and we work hard. Reeves James, when will the mask mandate stop? Where you been, girl? The mask mandate stopped a long time ago. There's no requirement anywhere in the Virgin Islands for you to wear a mask, but legally, any business can ask you to wear a mask to come in there. But we, the government, we don't have any mandates. As a matter of fact, June 30th, the state of emergency for COVID will end. Hooray. Not that COVID is gone, but I think we're to a point now where we can manage this. The lieutenant governor also has online now with his the property tax, and soon you're going to be able to file your plans for your new house, your new home, your addition. That's going to be able to be done online as well. Madali de Davila, how you doing? I see you watching and whisper and listening. Nellie Bones, you look like you pay attention. You look like you're from St. John. Has funding been identified to continue construction out at Whispering Hills and to eventually break ground on the first home in Fortuna? The funding been there. Nellie and me, we need to talk. The funding is there for public housing. Those lots in Fortuna are for sale. Whispering Hills, those homes are there for sale too. You can get a plot. You go through the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority in St. Croix. I think Bon Esperance, buy a lot, build a home. That program is there. All this funding is available for you. I'm not aware of any stoppage on any of our programs, so that's driving forward. What do you plan to do with all those abandoned schools in St. Croix? Reeves, we're going to tear them down. Those schools are 50 years old. You know, the one right now, we're going to tear them down. I think we've already demolished Arthur Richards. We torn down Little Bit Harrigan, which is a complex. We're tearing down Evelyn Williams. We're going to put a school there. That contract is just about done. Charlotte Amalie High School is coming down. We're going to be tearing the whole of Charlotte Amalie High down. So all these old schools, not all, most of these old schools will be torn down. I think we're going to repair E. Benjamin Oliver. That one will be saved. That one was damaged by the storm as well. What else? What do you... Angelica Empress Lioness Merrick, good evening. You're saying something is great. I don't know what it is. Bill Bacon, what is the plan for windmills in Bavoni progressing? Also the solar farm near Tutu. Bill, the solar farm near Tutu, I think I want to say they're 3/4 done, but I know they're halfway done. They've been energizing it slowly, so that's coming along. The windmills in Tutu, we in order to put those up, we were doing they don't need all the land. They need like plots of land within the original lease. So we were working out the lease. I think I signed that. I'm not quite sure, but the windmill in Tutu is moving along well. Catalina, I love you. The gross receipt, I would love to get rid of it too, but so many bonds are tied to that. You know, if we didn't have to save the retirement system this year, we might have been able to look at refinancing all of those bonds on a sales tax or some other source, and then being able to get rid of the gross receipts tax. But in order to get that gross receipt tax replaced, we're going to have to pay off, I think it's about 800 million or so we have in GRT, gross receipt tax bonds. So you got to get that replaced for for us. Nelista Thomas, you're saying first time ever, good job. James Lewis, will it be possible to include some 2021 in this cycle of tax returns? James, we have to pay them in order. We can't pay 21 before. Why didn't you, David Silverman, give me a break, no? Why didn't you talk to residents of Coral Day before you approved the mega yacht marina permit? That mega yacht marina permit approved from 2014. All we did is send it to the legislature. It's rumored that Ms. Berry Benjamin will be submitting a letter of resignation. Is there any truth to that rumor? I don't know if she will be submitting a letter of resignation. Who else we got there? Governor Drive-Through Estate, Thomas, you're cry to see the deplorable condition of the roads that are cracked up. Love Enough Davis, we have the money already allotted, but it's a bigger project. You see, it's coming all the way from up Sugar Estate. It's a drainage project that comes down through Foss Avenue and all of Estate Thomas. So some of the money appropriated for, but it's a huge drainage problem. So we have to fix the drainage problem before we fix the road. I'm gonna talk to Commissioner Gabriel and see if we can get on this. Will Chantel Quinones, will funds become available to help current government employees obtain certification and higher degrees that relate to their current positions? Chantel, you know you could go to the university for free, right? If you graduated from a Virgin Islands high school, it doesn't matter when you graduated. You can still go to the Virgin Islands for free. Now, if you're talking about taking courses in Phoenix and all those other places that are online, that's a little bit more tricky because those courses are expensive. I personally want to reinstitute the program where if you pay for the class and we reimburse you depending on whether you get A, B, C, or D. I think it was stopped during Governor Turnbull. I did it for my employees when I was at Labor, and I want to see that put in place again. The waterfront road on St. Thomas needs to be properly paved and not patched. Patching isn't lasting. Rose, I want to pave too. Rose Williams, we want to do it too, but remember, we're working now, the final design for Waterfront Phase 2 is almost done. We're gonna send that out to bid. All of that stuff is gonna get dug up. They're gonna do it just like they did the first phase of Veterans Drive. And we'll be able to, all that's gonna be paved. So I asked Commissioner Gabriel to pave the eastbound lane, and in order to do it, just so we could have some smooth paving right there. We're doing a lot of stuff on Waterfront too. There's a new vendors plaza you're gonna see soon. The new kiosks are coming right there on the corner by the stoplight by Vendors Plaza. You see it fenced around. That's the new bathrooms for downtown St. Thomas, so look out for that. Lisa Richards, Ryan, you have missed other questions. Why? Lisa, I can only read so fast. I'm trying to read them as I go. So if you have a question and I haven't answered it, ask it again because I keep going back and looking at it. Lisa, what's your questions? Let me see what you hear. Why are the people at St. Croix having to pay to dump their garbage at Anguilla? Because there's a thing called the tariff that the PSC implemented now. So when you dump your garbage, you have to pay. Now, I have waived it for the residents for our garbage, and that's going to end on June 30th too, because it's called a tipping fee. This thing is like 10 years old, the Waste Management has been trying to implement it, but the PSC mandated that it would be implemented. Actually, it took effect in January, so that's why you're paying for those things, Lisa. So when will the St. Croix Airport be completed? I don't know that it's not completed, Lisa. The St. Croix Airport, the terminal departure lounge is finished. The last thing they have to do now, they're putting in a restaurant there. I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. That's going to be great too. We are looking for the money. Senator Snowbell Francis, has sent us some stuff. We're trying to find the money now to do the design for the jet bridges. We're also looking for the money to finish St. Thomas and expand St. Thomas Airport. The commuter section is the next phase after we do the rental parking system that you see, the double-decker. agencies that you got to get them all settled with too many different occupations. I think we need to break that contract up so it's easier, because so many people get shafted in that. And I'm sorry for the word of shafted, because I'll give an example. There are like people who backhoe operators and heavy equipment operators. We get like one general raise for the whole thing, and there are people who are severely underpaid based on the demand for their occupations. Like, to find a heavy equipment operator is hard to do. So we're looking for some parity in that. And then the other thing, you know, I'll be very honest with you, like I tell everybody, we want to pay people the most as possible. I want to pay you as much as I can pay you. But what I refuse to do is I refuse to tell you I'm going to pay you something that I can't pay you because I want to get elected. The government back to 2012 when the last contract was and pay it all the way to 2022. We would never catch up. We would never catch up. We want to be able to pay you now. So this is the only administration in years that have actually included the raises in the budget. So there was a raise for 3% last year. I think it's 4% this year, and there's a projected another 4% for next year. So we need to talk. You need to talk to your union reps and tell them, listen, let's get the raise that we can now. Let's take one for these 3 years that Governor Bryan been in office, and then let's go back and look at specific occupations and raise those levels to where they need to be, because there's all kinds of people with specialties that are getting lost in that steelworker contract. I just want to make sure that we get to you. So it's not that we don't want to pay you. I wanted to pay everybody, but remember, we had COVID for 2 years, so we weren't able to negotiate for a long time, so they're backing up. So we just finished the teachers. We're trying to get the steel workers. We got the justice attorneys. We did the police supervisors, police contract coming up again. But steel workers master contract is huge. And I told the negotiators, stop trying to negotiate all these little knickknacks out of the contract. Let's get these people paid so we don't run up a back bill and get them paid out. So we haven't forgotten you. Whether the election is yesterday, tomorrow, or the next year, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to keep paying you, we're going to keep paving, and we're going to keep giving you back those tax returns. Stay with us. We're here on the Press Box. We'll be right back.
I have.
I have asthma.
But all asthma triggers aren't the same for everyone.
My triggers are dust, mold, and pollen.
Strenuous exercise.
Perfume and tobacco smoke.
Anxiety and stress.
To manage my asthma, I needed a plan.
I worked with a neurologist to identify my asthma triggers and found the best medications to prevent and control my symptoms.
As I got older, my asthma changed, so I talked to my doctor about adjusting my plan.
Partnering with my family and healthcare provider helps me manage my asthma and keep doing the things that I love. And now I can breathe much easier.
To learn more about managing asthma, visit doh.vi.gov.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins on June 1st and lasts through November 30th. Please take necessary steps to protect you, your family, and the community.
Begin collecting supplies such as bottled waters and non-perishable food, batteries, radios, games for children.
Don't forget about your pets and especially your elderly family. Take time now to trim trees, install or check shutters, talk to children about hurricanes, and allow them to pack their own go bags.
These activities can help reduce anxiety in the event of a storm. We're a small community.
Together we can ensure our islands, homes, and families remain prepared for hurricanes.
Register for Alert VI emergency notification by visiting vitema.vi.gov. Make a plan.
Be prepared.
Stay informed.
Good evening and welcome back. You're on the Press Box with your Governor, Albert Bryan Jr. I'm here answering your questions, trying to keep you up on all the things that are happening in the Virgin Islands. There's so much happening. It's hard to keep track of it sometimes, but I get excited because I love this and I love this job. All the different things that are going on. People ask me, man, how are you to keep all them things in your head? Because this is what I do. I love it. So, Miss Donadelle, Mariendal Road, I was out there driving. I went to see what is the hold up on this. That whole road is falling off the ridge there. So they started the work on the lower work to try to put the road back. Just like we up in Black Point Hill there doing it too. We've done it all over the place. And once they get that up, then they're gonna pave the other side of the road. But they can't pave it now because it's falling off. You look, you see the guardrail all going. So we need some repair. And as a matter of fact, the job that they have to do it, they need more than that because the road is worse than they anticipated, so we may have to go back there. Elvin Pemberton, thanks for the big up on horse racing. St. Thomas Horse Racing, I know, is going into design and permitting now. That's going along well. St. Croix, we almost there. I'm going to have to turn around and give these guys some money in order to get this started. We're negotiating now, going back, final little points on the contract. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do it unless I give them some money to do it. So I want horse racing in St. Croix, so we're going to give them some money to get it done. But we're going to get a piece of the action too. They're going to be able to give us a little bit back because we're giving them a little bit more. Nobody expected a COVID. We had that contract that we are slowly digging ourselves out of. It was passed before with horse racing. Good intention. I think when I read that contract, I was like, this is great. But it's been a nightmare trying to get this thing done. And especially with COVID going on, it has been extremely difficult. So that's good. For the nurses, I think the nurses are in negotiation right now. They should be getting their first bonus. I think it should be right around like $6,000 or $7,000 or something like that. But they still have to negotiate their salaries. So be a little patient. That's coming out. Premium pay is going to come out. We got a bunch of other stuff that are coming out because we know people hurting. People asking me about the gas tax, like. The gas is $5.49. Reducing it by 14 cents is not going to save you a heap of money. Plus, it's going to make a problem for WAPA because some of that money goes to WAPA right now for the gas tax. We finally started putting money in the other half of that money into the road fund. So we give you a break 7 cents on your gas, which you're going to hardly feel. But your roads are not going to get paid. The roads are looking so beautiful now, we want to be able to keep doing that. In order to make the Virgin Islands better. And the only way we do that is that we start to save money now for when those roads start to deteriorate. Got some ideas around the private roads as well too. Roads, you're saying firefighters still waiting negotiations. Historically, governors have kind of like sold a bag of goods, got elected, and then said something else. Let me tell you guys something. Everybody gonna get their contract negotiated. It just takes a little minute. We got you, we come in, your money good. We're gonna get to you. So just be a little patient with us, we're getting them out. And they're large contracts, so it takes a lot of effort to get them done. And we want to make sure that we could pay you. That's the most important thing. We don't wanna make any promises we can't keep. We've been good on our promises. Teachers, it took us a long time to get the teachers paid because it's 2,000 people in AFT. We gotta do each one of those things manually, I know. But that's the system. The system don't work like that. I met it here. We try and fix it. But time, money, COVID, all the things that affect us on every day and the constant problem. Vaccines for everyone over 6 months. I know people think that COVID is over. So is polio, but we still take the polio vaccine. Just trying to keep people safe out there. I want to make sure that it's hurricane season. I mean, it's like, I always say it's Coco Bay and Tapayas. That's what my grandmother says. One thing or the next. Something coming and the next thing coming. But let's not get caught with our guard down for hurricane season. Let's start to create your kits. If you even one from last year, go out and buy new Vienna sausage. Eat the one that was in the kit before. Okay, drink that water. It ain't gonna taste good. Try that one out, drink that water, put some new fresh ones in there. I put a nice long extension cord in there. I check my generator, make sure it's working, change the filter and the oil, put some batteries in there. You know, you need about 72 hours worth of food and water. Most of you have cisterns. You're okay. Go check your shutters, make sure you got your screws and everything. Now is the time to do it. I want you to be safe for hurricane season. We're gonna batten down. If anything comes, it come. Well, we ready for it. We resilient people. We've been through it. We've done it before. We'll do it again. But God willing, and with your prayers and my prayers and everybody else, you know, we won't have any hurricanes this season. But you know, they've been coming earlier. We've been seeing storms in August. It's already practically July. Today's what, the 22nd. We're moving through really quickly. So I just urge you to get out there and get ready real quick. And buy the gas now before you go up for the generator, because you know gas is ridiculous. We know it's rough out there. You know, inflation everywhere is going crazy. But you know, we're in here working for you, and we're trying to figure out ways to make your life a little bit easier. You know, I had your back for the last 3 years, took you through COVID, come out with flying colors. Never had to worry. I'm right here for you and always will be right here for you. So you just hang in there with us and we'll get you through this gas crisis. WAPA, you know, we're trying to keep the light bill low. It ain't easy. WAPA want a lot of money to keep the light bill low, and I promised you I was gonna try to keep it low or at least stable. We're gonna do that, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We got some new solar stuff coming on and stuff that's gonna revolutionize, lower our bills, batteries. It's taking us a little while, but COVID again. I mean, everybody forgetting that we had 2 years of COVID now because we did such a good job handling, but it delayed a lot of stuff. And lastly, I want to tell you guys, you know, it is time for St. John Fete again. So you know, I'm going to be out there this weekend. I'm going to the food fair over there in St. John. Look for me, come hail me up, say hello. Even you, Mr. Silverman, come say hello to your boy, Govy Govy. And everybody else who come over from St. Thomas, let's go over there and show the St. Jonians love. And if you're in Cruz, you can come to Water Island. We're ready for you. Hey, Water Island, we got a road repair starting soon. We're going to fix up that fort over there too. Other beautiful infrastructure projects coming. But 4th of July is going to be great. St. Croix, don't forget, we got some good stuff for Emancipation Day. There's a folk life festival coming up. There's got a lot of stuff going on. Even here at Government House, we have stuff going on. Look out for a big announcement next week about Emancipation Day. We're doing a lot of stuff to make sure that we preserve our culture here in the Virgin Islands and everything I love about it, the food, the people, the music, all of that's going on. So I gotta go. I gotta go to Taste of St. Croix now. If you're in St. Croix, you gotta check that out. And then after that, I'm gonna be at Noche de San Juan. That's going on tonight as well too. So if you got your tickets, I'll see you out there. If not, I'll see you at Noche de San Juan. I'll be over in Iraq tomorrow, enjoying some stuff over there too. Until then, as you know, this is your governor signing out. Love you. Take care. God bless. Have a great evening.